Welcome to Reread. I'm still going through the Droids comic book series that was left off the timeline, and not a single one of you noticed either. Shame, shame. All right, but yeah, I didn't either. I didn't either. Like I said, someone else put this on there, and obviously it wasn't my timeline. But I'm correcting that with these rereads. Have no fear. This next Droid series basically restarts the series. It happened, like, if I'm right, like 2 years later. And like publication-wise, Ryder Wenham is completing his story, finishing up his story. The first story arc is actually called Rebellion, and then Ryder leaves the comic book series. He leaves the series as it goes 4 more issues. But let me just today talk about Ryder Wenham's 4-issue series that started off this one, just named Rebellion. And this one, the first one, it picks up where the last one left off. The Z unit has deputized, C-3PO and R2, and they're hot on Olag Grek's tail. During this, though, Zed, unfortunately, is going to bite the dust at the hands of one of Captain Forno. Yes, Captain Forno's there. She basically blasts him in the dust, and at the very end, shoots 3PO. We don't see we see her firing the shot at 3PO, but we don't see 3PO. So we're like, oh no, 3PO's dead. Well, we know he's not dead. And 2, this is the big scene where his leg got shot off, and it got replaced with a gray leg. Kind of, saying, okay, here's how he got his gray leg in Star Wars. Obviously, someone at Lucasfilm vetoed that and said no. So he had to change the story about that, I believe. Because why would you add that silver leg right where he had it in A New Hope to only later on change that little arc there? I don't mind it. I thought it was really good too. I mean, it could have all been done on purpose, though I don't see why you would want to tease us with maybe you're giving us an explanation on why, 3PO, one of his legs aren't, had that golden shine like his other one does, or the rest of his body for that matter. Anyway, in issue 3, we find out that program is kind of messed up 3PO a little bit, like his eyes, instead of whatever the regular color, yellow, they're turning green now. And he is suddenly this great big leader. He causes this uprising of all these droids, and they're going to go up against Boonta the Hutt. Boonta the Hutt. That is their nemesis. He's the one that's hauling droids back and forth. He's the one who hates droids. Let's go get him. And the 3PO, whatever programming is taken over, he inspires the rest of the droids. Thank the maker, and they're all going to go after Boonta the Hutt. And then in issue 4, it turns out it was the silver leg that had some program in it that turned 3PO into this person. Later on, they're going to take the leg off and cure him of whatever programming he got. He'll go back to cowardly little 3PO at the end of this. Boonta turns out, though, not to be a villain at all. He's actually a Hutt who's reformed. He's a reformed Hutt. He just doesn't want anyone to know he's left crying. But he's an honest-to-goodness Hutt now. And Olag's upset because he's trying to make a dirty deal with him and realizes, of all the Hutts in the galaxy, I get the one with a conscience. He's like, I can't believe this. What were the odds? And that's kind of funny. Now, eventually, Olag will make a deal with Boonta at the end, some kind of deal to make some money, because Olag wants to make some money here. And it turns out that a mutual enemy called Movo was a droid that's been with the droids for, I want to say, even the last series too, but it may have been just this 4-story arc here. He's been with them trying to help him, and it turns out that he's Movo. Why was he trying to help him? Because he wants them to destroy Boonta. That's his competition. And Olag, screw that guy too. So no wonder he's been friendly to the droids to help them out, but it turns out he was the villain the whole time, and he gets blown away, and I can't remember how. But anyway, Movo was a human brain inside of a robot, because the actual human had died a long time ago. They thought he'd been assassinated, but they saved his brain. Okay, so nice little story arc. Overall, Ryder's story for the droids. I'm going to stop right here because Ryder does not write the last 4 issues of the series. I don't know why. Maybe he was just done with the story. It's fun. It's cartoony. It's laughable. But to be honest, you need that because the droids are goofy. And still, for me, the original run, number 6, that was a good one. That was a great one. I can't explain why I loved it so much, but I did. It was easily my favorite. Olag is kind of goofish looking too. I don't mind him. Your villains don't have to be very sinister looking or, very evil looking. They can be goofy. They can look like big dorks and still provide, fodder as the villain. But overall, it is a very good series. It is collected in one big omnibus. I don't know how easy this is to find. Probably very hard. You'll let me know in the comments for sure. But it is an enjoyable read. Now, what about those last 4 issues? Well, I'll talk about those next time.